Born today, February 18th, 259 BC, Qin Shi Huang, the first official Chinese emperor, who instead of just being the Qin, the ruler, decided that he would be the Shi Huangdi, the great ruler, the emperor of China. At this time, China was divided in the Warring States period. The Qin was one province in the west that eventually overwhelmed the others thanks to the military brilliance and brutality of Qin Shi Huang, who established himself as the leader of all of China, creating the Qing imperial dynasty. China was rich and prosperous under the Qin. Military and technological advancements, as well as agricultural ones, kept the kingdom united and powerful. Yet the budding empire needed defenses, and Qin Shi Huang was a great builder. And his greatest project was the Great Wall of China, to protect it from barbarians and invaders, nomads who would constantly challenge his authority and the safety of his people. He always got what he wanted, and the Shi Huangdi, the first ruler, got what he wanted mainly through brutality and repression. His 11 years on the Chinese imperial throne were extraordinarily brutal, but extraordinarily effective. Near the end of his life, he wished to be buried in a way that would be defended for all of eternity. He enlisted his architects to bury children and soldiers alive with him. Eventually, they came up with using terracotta, creating one of the greatest masterpieces in Chinese architectural history. He died in 210 BC, and his son was too incompetent to carry on in his likeness, and the Qin dynasty collapsed soon afterwards. But his legacy lives on, as Qin became the basis for the name of the empire over which he ruled, China. Also born on this day in 1516, another monarch, a world away and thousands of years, literally, but very similar in their brutality and repression. Mary the first queen in her own right of England, who reigned from 1553 to 1558. One of the three children of Henry VIII, she was the oldest, and the only one of them to maintain the Catholic faith. Henry VIII was well known for his lust and desires for breaking England away from the Catholic Church, and for doing everything in his power to obtain a divorce from Mary's mother, Catherine of Aragon. Mary grew up related to Spanish royalty, and with a Spanish upbringing, she was very much entitled to her Catholicism and loyal to it. When Henry died, his son, through his third wife, Edward, became the next king. Yet he was sickly and weak, and after 6 years, and another failed attempt to put a queen on the throne, Mary assumed the throne, overthrowing her Protestant relatives. Mary was determined to bring England back to Catholicism, and determined in every sort of way, even using brutality and violence to achieve these means. During her short 5-year reign, Bloody Mary, as she came to be known, executed thousands of Protestants, even members of her own family, high-standing clergy, and respected religious officials, as her persecutions of the Protestants became the stuff of legend, making her a completely infamous queen to the English. She also married into her own family. With her relative Charles V being one of the most powerful people in Europe, she married her cousin, his son Philip, the King of Spain. Philip and her could not bear a child, and Philip was feared by the English that he would become their king. However, his ambitions aside, Mary loved Philip, and he loved her. Yet she could never bear a proper heir, and eventually her phantom pregnancies were most likely different forms of cancer that killed her in 1558, leading her sister Elizabeth to take the throne. She would continue to struggle against Philip, and the wars of religion that divided Protestant and Catholic would continue to haunt England well after Mary was over, when her sister Elizabeth was killing Catholics just as much as she killed the English Protestants. However, she has been immortalized in one way, alcohol, through the libation the Bloody Mary, which bears her name, the only shreds of her legacy left over. And finally, born on this day in 1931, beloved writer and author, one of the most popular African-American writers in American history, Toni Morrison.